Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This time I'm meant to be dressed up as Devora from Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X. Sorry if I'm pronouncing any of that wrong. I've not actually played the Mortal Kombat series yet. I really apologise about that. But I hope I did it justice for you guys out there. Yeah, so this makeup has actually been requested like loads of times in the past, so I'll flash the first few names of the people that requested it on the screen now. And the very first person that requested it was this person right here. So thank you so much for requesting it. You're the first person, but thank you everyone that requested it. And yeah, so if you'd like to learn how to recreate this makeup, stay tuned. So to start things off, I'm going to block out both my eyebrows and I'm going to be applying a plain latex bald cap, just going around my ears because there's no need to cover them. So I'll pop a link here and here to the two tutorials where I teach you guys how to do both those things, as always to make this video a bit shorter. So I'm going to apply my bald cap, block out my eyebrows, and we'll go from there. There we are, and I've also gone around the edge of my bald cap with about 4 layers just to get rid of the edge. Then I'm going to take a sponge and some more liquid latex and I'm just going to go over my forehead and over my brows because I'm going to build up my forehead a little bit just to make the eyes appear a bit more further apart. So I'm going to do about 3 coats just over that area and then I'll start building it up. And then on the last layer, so on the 3rd layer, I'm just going to apply some latex just to the middle area. Then I'm going to take some tissue paper, which I've already separated into thin halves, and then I'm just going to work in really little strips and start building up the brow by pressing it over the wet latex and then saturating that. So the idea for this is not necessarily to make it angry. I mean, it's going to be slightly V-shaped, yeah, but what I'm going for is more of a hooded area here, just to make the eyes appear more further apart, if that makes sense. So I'm going to concentrate all the tissue mainly here, and then a little tiny hood over here. It's a little bit difficult to explain, so I'm going to do it, time-lapse through it, and then show you afterwards exactly where I've gone. So there we go. So as I said, I've gone quite low down in the bridge of my nose just to make this area look a lot wider than it actually is, to make my eyes look a bit further apart. And in the process, it makes the character look a bit more angry, a bit more stern looking. Yeah, so I'm just going to let that dry and then I can work on painting my face. So for the foundation colour, I'm going to use a M.A.C Chromacake Primary Yellow watercolour, and I'm going to apply that all over my face, my ears and my neck. Then I'm going to take a M.A.C Black Chromacake watercolour in black, as they call it, and a really sharp angle brush. I'm just going to start tracing on really lightly. Doesn't matter how neat it is at this point because I can neaten it up in a second. I'm just going to start tracing on these beautiful tribal patterns that this character has about here. Okay, so that's the super rough sketching of it. It really doesn't matter how neat it is at this point. I just wanted to make sure everything's relatively even and I wanted to map out exactly where things are going to go. Yeah, so now I'm just going to take the black watercolour again and a slightly thinner brush and I'm just going to start neatening up all these angles and points. So there we are. So I'm going to take the black M.A.C watercolour and I'm going to take only a tiny bit of that and I'm going to use that for the shading. So I'm going to just stencil on the shape that I want really lightly with hardly any of the colour because I'm going to try and get this as grey as possible rather than black. So I'm just going to go down the area here and then over the nose and around the eyes and under them ever so slightly. Yeah. Then I'm just going to get a new brush with a tiny bit of the black on, but mostly just wet. I'm just going to manipulate that colour inwards, just so it's not a block black, it's just a really dark grey. Then I'm just going to take a new fluffy brush, make it a tiny bit wet, and then blend that outside edge so there's no harsh line. So then I can add the pinky hues around the nose and around the eyes that this character has. So I'm going to take a Sugar Pill Pro palette and I'm going to use the Dollipop pink from that palette and I'm going to use that to apply down the sides of my nose and all around the edge of my eyes. I'm going to use quite a fluffy brush for this. And I'm going to do the same thing again, using the same method, going along the cheekbones and then straight down. So kind of a masculine cheekbone really, to be honest, because it goes along the cheekbones and then down, but hey ho. So just going to take a tiny bit of the black and just start sculpting the shape. going to blend that colour downwards. Then I can do the same again. I'm going to take the pink Dollipop eyeshadow and I can just go along the edge and then taper that colour downward just so it gives a pink hue. Then I'm going to take the black Chromacake colour again and a really sharp angle brush, and I'm going to draw the line that goes across the lips, up the cheekbones and across, so following the similar shape that we've already drawn. Then, taking a new angle brush with just the yellow watercolour on it, I'm just going to score down and up either side of the lines all the way along, kind of like stitching. They're kind of like puckled skin, I think. I would use collodion on this makeup, but because there's already a few layers of watercolour on there, the collodion might not stick down for too long, so I'm going to just go with the watercolours for now. Backtracking a little bit, I'm just going to do some more contouring just on the temples. I'm using the same thing again with the black watercolour, just taking the majority of it off and just shading the temples. I'm just going to taper that off. Not really much to this, I just want to make the bone look like it's protruding on the forehead. So for the lips, I'm going to do a nice big full black lip, and I'm going to use a M.A.C paint stick in black for that, yep. And on top of that, I'm going to use an O.C.C Lip Tar in Tarred. This stuff is amazing, it's just really going to make it pop out. So yes, I'm just going to use a really sharp lip liner brush for this, and I'm going to paint it on with a nice full bottom lip and quite an arched Cupid's bow. Then I'm going to take a Makeup Forever Aqua cream in black, and I'm just going to apply eyeliner to the top and bottom of my eyes, and I'm going to add a point to the corners of my eyes as well. It's just going to make things a lot darker for when I put my sclera lenses in afterwards, just so there's no skin tone showing. So there we are, so nothing like major, but definitely feminine. So I've got like the point at the corner of the eye, and I've done a little flick on the outside as well, just to bring the eyes up. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that on this eye. And there we go, that's the look complete. So I finished the look off by popping on a black robe, which I just got off of Amazon.com. I popped in 2 sclera lenses, which I got from scleraxl.com. I'll pop that link on screen here. And yeah, there's not much else to say about this look really. It's relatively simple really, apart from the bald cap and the actual brow itself, but the rest of it's kind of paint by numbers really. It's just one of them fun ones. Like the Darth Maul and Savage Oprah's tutorials I did. It's just one of them fun ones that you just have to take your time with really. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you like it, please make sure to do the usual. Rate, comment, subscribe and all that jazz, because it super helps me out. And yeah, so until next time. Bye guys.